Union Minister of Parliamentary Affairs Kiren Rijiju has said the alleged links between the Congress and Hungarian-American businessmen should be considered serious. He also urged the opposition party to fight unitedly against anti-India forces. He said the matter should not be viewed through a political lens. The BJP minister's statement comes a day after the BJP alleged that former Congress President Sonia Gandhi has links to an organization financed by the Soros Foundation and which has backed the idea of Kashmir as an independent nation. The BJP alleged that the former Congress president is the co-president of the Forum of the Democratic Leaders in Asia Pacific Foundation, which is linked to an organization financed by George Soros' foundation. Opposition leaders rejected the BJP's allegations. Congress MP Karti Chidambaram dismissed what the BJP said, terming them as dark fantasies that should be confined to the dark web.
अभी देश में जो मुद्दा सबके सामने में आए हुए हैं, गंभीर मुद्दा है। मैं मानता हूं कि कुछ मुद्दे ऐसे होते हैं जो राजनीतिक दृष्टि से हम नहीं देखना चाहिए। जॉर्ज सोरोस और उसके जो लिंक्स सामने में जो आए हैं, चाहे राहुल गांधी जी का नाम हो, चाहे सोनिया गांधी जी का नाम हो, हम इसको कांग्रेस पार्टी के रूप से भी नहीं देखते हैं। कोई भी भारतीय अगर विदेशी ताकतों के साथ जो भारत विरोधी है उनसे लिंक होते हैं और भारत का खिलाफ काम करते हैं तो गंभीरता से लेना चाहिए। हम इसको पार्टीबाजी के रूप से नहीं देखते।
Savio Rodriguez, BJP leader, is joining us live. Aditya Garg, Congress spokesperson, is also joining us on the broadcast. Satya Kumar, economist, is live with us. Manaspreet Thapar, political analyst, also joins us on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first. This is clearly, of course, another attack on your party, Aditya, by the BJP Union Minister, once again alleging links of your party with Soros, who he calls anti-India forces, saying it's time to be united against these forces. How do you respond to an issue that the government is continuously raising against your former Congress president?
Hello, good evening. Good evening to my fellow spokespersons here. We kind of expected the party, the ruling party, to wish Sonia Gandhi on her birthday today, but not in a way that demeans her or puts her in a spot where which kind of makes everyone feel uncomfortable, because honestly the question today we should be asking is Adani really guilty, and why aren't the requests being answered? Why isn't the government very keen in investigating the allegations on Adani? And instead, it's just become a routine pattern. First it was Nehru, and now it's Soros. A 94-year-old Hungarian-American has suddenly, who invests in India. I mean, it's rather surprising that for a party who boasts of FIIs suddenly take a U-turn and say, why are you investing in India? I mean, if you have a problem with a particular company, then just say that, we have a problem with this company. They have blacklisted quite a few NGOs. Why not blacklist this one again? They can't, because this is honestly not an organization or a firm based out of India. It's an international organization in which Sonia Gandhi is an honorary member. And so are people from other 60, 70 odd nations who are a part of this organization. I mean, it's just very bizarre that BJP can go to any length to defend Adani.
Okay, let me quickly get you in here, Savio Rodriguez. The issue is Adani, not Soros, Sonia Gandhi, says Aditya Garg. He is continuing to say that there are no links. The Congress, of course, has dismissed this. Karti Chidambaram has called this dark fantasies, better confined to the dark web.
Well, it's interesting, but let me educate some of the panelists, because I have over the last 8 years been tracking George Soros. And George Soros, whether you want to accept it or not, is considered to be an economic terrorist by most countries who have faced the venom of his economic terrorism. Now, having said that, the most important aspect to answer to the Congress gentleman who so beautifully said what he said, but just lacks a little bit of the knowledge around the subject, let me tell you something. As far as Adani is concerned and Adani's case, Adani's issue with Hindenburg was concerned, the Supreme Court dealt with it, and the Supreme Court passed its order as far as the Hindenburg claims were. As far as the Department of Justice claims out, that is for Adani, his lawyers, his PR team to deal with. It's got nothing to do with us or with me as somebody who supports the BJP. Now, coming to the interesting aspect. Now, where are the connections that are coming in, and why is it that OCCRP was targeting Adani? Why is it that George Soros was targeting Adani? Why is it that George Soros was targeting Modi? Why is it that OCCRP is targeting the Modi government? So when there are these clear links coming out, there is obviously going to be questions that are going to be asked. And then you have Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, who's a part of the Forum of Democratic Leaders in Asia Pacific. Now, this particular organization is funded by the George Soros Foundation, number one. As far as banning, as this gentleman earlier said, the Open Society Foundation has got a ban as far as India is concerned, and that the government is looking into its investments as far as India is concerned, as well as its grants to individuals, just like all the NGOs who come under scrutiny. Now, this is not about the Congress. Keep Congress aside. What is really important is, why is it that the Congress in this case has decided to ally with an economic terrorist? Now, why do I say that? If you look at OCCRP, one of the largest funders for OCCRP, of course, is the United States itself as a government. Samantha Powers, who's a US aide, bigwig, has very clearly stated that OCCRP is a partner of the United States.
Yes, but when you have, of course, the US embassy now issuing a statement, the Congress is trying to, piggyback on that by saying that, this is an attempt by the government to break relations with the US. What do you make of that stand put out by Shashi Tharoor and others of the Congress?
Firstly, the US does not hold a candle as far as, covert or overt operations are concerned. The world knows what it does. We clearly saw what they did in Bangladesh. We clearly know that the National Endowment for Democracy was the overt operator along with the CIA to initiate a coup that had Sheikh Hasina ousted. So we know how the CIA functions. The CIA functions are known to every other country, and especially countries that have strong intelligence network like India. So US saying they're disappointed about the questions that we are raising really shouldn't bother us too much. It's just like a US-based article coming saying that India is doing bad under the Modi government, because really we all know what the US is doing over a period of time under the Biden administration. The point is this: the links are very clear between George Soros, Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi, the US deep state, and most importantly, the OCCRP, which has come out very clear. Now, every time OCCRP puts out a report, and I'm saying this once again on your channel, Uday, the time I started getting really more focused on OCCRP was at that time when they went after the Covaxin. Now, the Covaxin had nothing political about it. The Covaxin was a vaccine that was done by an Indian company that was then, given to people of India, a large number of people of India, and even sent to people outside of India during what was one of the worst periods in recent time. But yet the OCCRP, which is what the Congress is supporting, which is what George Soros is supporting, and what the US state government is supporting, went after the Covaxin to demonize the Covaxin. In fact, Shashi Tharoor, the leader of the Congress, came out and supported AstraZeneca. And AstraZeneca, a couple of weeks ago, came out and stated that their vaccine had certain anomalies in that vaccine. So we were playing with lives based on OCCRP's statement on attacks on Covaxin. Why did they attack the Covaxin at that point of time? When world over, countries were using their pharmaceutical companies to come out with a cure. That is when we started investigating the links.
Okay, let me get in a response from Aditya Garg then before I get in the others. Aditya Garg, please respond. There's a track record in the Congress party. Savio Rodriguez says he's been studying George Soros and his links very, very closely, and the Congress cannot deny that.
There is one very interesting name that I came across while, in trying to find the link between Sonia ji and the George Soros and everything that, the gentleman's accusing us of. There is a very interesting name in the list. It's called Mr. B.M. Oza. And I want all of you all to kindly Google the name and find out what he is known for. He was an ambassador to Switzerland, Singapore, and Sweden. And the gentleman is known to have be a witness of the Bofors scam. I mean, if you have to stand neutral, then I think he should also be involved in some kind of conspiracy or with some ties with George Soros, so to say. For a person who kind of took Congress apart in the 90s, the so-called gentleman is also a part of the same FDLAP. Coming back to Mr. Savio, sir, I am very disappointed with the kind of arguments that you've laid down, because you have kind of made everyone an accomplice in the case without mentioning that Adani is not being investigated. The main focus of Congress party is that you want to investigate Soros. Be my guest. Investigate Soros, all his investments. Go and find out every investment he's made, including one to Mr. Gaurav Hinduja and Mr. Shashank, in whose wedding there were all kinds of BJP ministers. I mean, you can be my guest and find out all the find out about the investments made by Soros in India. To say that there is a direct link between Soros and journalist agencies and investigative agencies and Sonia ji is kind of just saying that, I mean, I know Narendra Modi ji and Modi ji knows me. I mean, that's as bizarre as it can be.
My young friend, let me explain. Now, when George Soros made that statement at Davos, okay, during the World Economic Forum, he spoke about setting aside $1 billion to fight nationalism arising out of India. In 2023, he repeated the same focus.
Right.
That is against Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Sir,
and interestingly, why would George Soros go after Adani? George Soros went after Adani because that is exactly what the Congress is doing, going after Adani. Now, George Soros is an economic terrorist himself. Why would he target Adani? Why would he go after Modi?
Okay, let me get in. Manasvi Thapar. Manasvi Thapar, come in here. Please respond to these, charge versus counter charge, of course, that you just heard. At the end of the day, there is a track record. There is a clear link, says Savio. Do you agree with him? Also, what is the solution to all of this? Is a JPC needed? How will we break this standoff on this issue?
In a debate, I felt like it was not a political debate. It was a debate of corporate houses. One was defending Adani, other was defending George Soros. This is first time in a debate which I had. So I think both the allegations somehow are confusing. In terms, there is no action. There are allegations and there is no investigation. So what has to be done right now is there has to be double JPCs, one for Adani issue, other for George Soros funding, and it has to be done. You cannot take the people of this country for a ride. You cannot make parliament a mockery wherein the parliament has been stalled for continuous period of time and there is no business happening. You have to answer to the people of this nation. If there are allegations from the opposition, the people in power have to answer them. If opposition is questionable on their funding parts and their links with anti-national individuals like George Soros, they have to be investigated. But what is the moot question here, Uday, is investigation going to happen? Are we only going to have media debates or media bites wherein people in power and people in opposition will just put allegations across each other and then nothing will happen on the floor of the house? What is going to be the way forward for this country? Is our country going to be an allegation touch and go thing, or are we actually going to see some kind of action? As a citizen of this country, I want JPC for both the issues. Can this happen or not? This is a direct question to people who are in power. They should formulate two JPCs, one for George Soros, because this particular issue has been pending since multiple years. There are allegations of his funding. There have been multiple instances wherein anti-national activities have been sensed by the people in power, but no action since multiple years have happened. It's been more than a decade BJP is in power, but no action against anti-national forces, international deep states have been taken on ground as of now. Further, if Adani issue is an issue wherein there are direct links which is going to hamper the country's national interests, that also needs to be investigated. So we cannot run away from JPC. That has to be done. That is the need of an hour. Allegations, counter allegation is not going to take this country forward. A ground, small step, the larger impact step would be having a JPC, a joint parliamentary commission for both the issues. Can that happen? Uday, that's the only moot question which comes to my mind.
Satyakumar, come in here. How serious are these charges? What do you make of this link that the BJP says has clearly been established between an organization which Sonia Gandhi is a post holder on and George Soros, and of course these denials that you're hearing as well from the Congress camp?
Definitely. I concur with the views of Savio. Considering the fact that these are all Western journalists and also they have a link with Sonia Gandhi, and it's well proven that when he made a statement in World Economic Forum at Switzerland, Davos, it shows what is the agenda. He has spoken the mind out. Then when the agenda is to attack India, they see who is the dominant player in India as part of the corporate. So it is Adani and subsequently and stock market of India. When they hit Adani, subsequently the hit is going to be on the stock market. Second important issue, this is an issue raised in the US based on Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, which is anti-corruption law in US, which has charged only there's an indictment of Adani and Adani Group, and it's a complaint provided by Azure Power, by the erstwhile leadership of Azure Power, where Adani has acquired this Azure Power based on different strategy of acquisition. And considering this fact, we have to, as said by Manasvi, that we need to have JPC, but the JPC should target the priority on non-BJP ruled states, where they have named Andhra Pradesh, they have named DMK Tamil Nadu, and now conveniently the DMK minister, electricity minister, Mr. Senthil Balaji, who has come out on bail, has clearly said that there is no link with Adani. There cannot be a direct link with Adani because the procurement happens, the agreement happens only with SCPC, and SCPC has an agreement with Adani, and Adani has a control over Azure. Then the question comes, this complicated transaction has to be first looked at by the JPC if they have to look at it. So the question here is, George Soros Foundation has a link with Sonia Gandhi, and similarly, you have other non-BJP, that is the Congress Alliance regional parties have a bribery charge now. There has to be a court-monitored or a parliamentary monitored, commission-monitored investigation on the government, the state which is involved in the bribery charges. The priority is the people. So considering it, before even they investigate on the corporate, it's very important to investigate on why did the states agree to SCPC agreement. So is it based on the tender, or is there any rates that they have negotiated? These are all the things to be seen.
All right. My thanks to our guests for joining us on this discussion.